decade and a half ago in Israel. As things got militarily hotter and hotter, Raymond thought of his family. And as he got older, his health started to deteriorate. And because of all the friends that he had, he came to the United States and got a green card. It's interesting because when he had the marriage for his daughter, it was exactly like Christ tells it in the Bible. All the bridesmaids sat at home, and all the groomsmen kept walking. They kept coming, and they came to the house. And they knocked on the door, and they said, "We're there." Then all together, they all walked to the Church of the Nativity in Bethlehem, and the church was filled. The American ambassador was there. The politicians from Israel were there. And thousands of his friends were there. Because God knew that in this simple, humble man, he was God's guide, and he did God's work. He came, and God's guide, when his work was over, God guided God's guide. When his work was over, God guided God's guide. And being warned of God in a dream to return to Herod, they departed to their own country another way. There was a bunch of us who always used to talk with Raymond about, we want to go back to Israel one more time, and we want you to be our guide. We want you to teach us and tell us all the things that we've seen 8, 9, 10 times before. We want God's guide to share that. But God's guide has since died. He's guided by God. And I believe that when you die, you get guided by God. And so I believe we will all see Israel again with Raymond. We will see God's guide. But the next time we see him, we'll be guided by God along with him. Amen. Bethlehem, Jerusalem, Israel is the heart of where Christ acted, and it is the heart of the political action in our world today. God's guide always said, pray for the peace of Jerusalem. The peace of God which passes all understanding, keep your heart and your mind in Jesus Christ our Lord.
No, no, no. Napsal.